Man, all these games coming out this year and the next year, they all look great. In fact, too great.
As of August 2021, we're going to have Far Cry 6, Metroid Dread, Guardians of the Galaxy, Halo Infinite, Breath of the Wild 2, and Final Fantasy 16.
That's only scratching the surface. But you know, with all these games, it's a little bit too much. So much AAA games coming out, one might want to just get away from it all. You know, play a game from the ancient times. The 80s. Oh, I know. I'll just play one of the games from my vast, extensive NES collection. Mario and Duck Hunt. Well, you know, with Mario, I can play that on any console nowadays, and with Duck Hunt, I don't have a license. Jeopardy! Well, you know what they say, the best times to play a trivia game is when they're outdated and 5 to 10 years before you were born. But no, what I want to do is I want to play an NES game. What I need is not a trivia game, or a game that can be played on different systems. What I need is a game that was only released on the NES. A game that defines the NES. The definitive RPG experience. I got it! You know, Hydlide is definitely what I'm thinking of. It was only ever released once. In America. You know, I think I've heard of this game before, but I can't remember exactly what they said.
Mediocre adventure game with some serious flaws.
It sucks. It sucks so bad.
Well, you know what they say. You'll never know until you play it. Blindly. A game that's only been released once in a world where re-releases are the norm. Maybe it's just a hidden gem, who knows?
Hydlide was released in Japan on home computers in 1984, 2 years before The Legend of Zelda and before the Dragon Quest games, and 3 years before Final Fantasy. It was well received and considered an innovator as one of the first action RPGs. Over 2 million copies were sold. When it left Japan, however...
But you know, it was 1989 when it came out in America. Maybe people just didn't know what they had. Maybe it's a hidden gem.
Alright, let's see. Booting up and we see a dragon and a girl. Dragon waves his fingers and then boom! 3 fairies.
Okay, well so far, it's a great start. I mean, we boot up the game and we get a little magic show to start off with.
Alright, well let's start this game and get some backstory. Oh, wait, that was the backstory? Well, okay then, I guess we don't need context. Alright, let's see. It starts us off surrounded by enemies. This is a good time to get some XP. I'll just attack this slime and...
Huh. Okay, maybe it's going the Morrowind route, you know, where it's dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Let's just explore a bit.
Alright, well let's see. There's a castle there. Oh, that's a nice little orchard. No enemies spawning there, so I guess this is a safe area to heal. And wasps? Fucking wasps come out and kill you if you don't touch a tree?
Alright. Okay, yeah, sure. Game over. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Alright, well I'm gonna try and see maybe if the trees give you something. Like maybe I just picked the wrong one. Oh look, Fairy 1.
I guess those wasps are a trick if you pick the wrong tree. That's kind of clip.
Okay, I think we're gonna need some context on what's going on. Let's see what the instructions have to say. In the kingdom of Fairyland, 3 magic jewels were enshrined in the palace to maintain peace in the kingdom. One day, an evil man broke into the palace and stole one of the 3 magic jewels. Without the 3rd jewel, the 2 remaining jewels lost their magic sparkle. The magic spell that sealed the power of Borealis, the most vicious demon in the kingdom, was broken. During the turmoil which followed, the last 2 jewels were stolen. Borealis cast a special magic on Princess Anne, turning her into 3 fairies, and hid her somewhere in the kingdom. He then let loose a horde of monsters across the land and became the ruler of the kingdom. Finally, the young knight Jim stood up and took action to restore peace to the kingdom. He bravely made his way into the wilderness in full armor to fight the monsters.
There. Sure glad I don't look stupid in this.
Okay, so Jim here has full armor and is so good that he was given a knight level in this kingdom. But in order to play this game, you need to be at a minimum level 3 if you hope to stand a chance against some of these enemies. I mean, you're not even good enough to fight a whole slime right away. You gotta back up and heal.
How fighting in this game works is you run up to an enemy and you hope you kill it before it kills you. Yeah, it seems simple enough, except there isn't really a dedicated attack button. You're stuck on defense mode until you hold down the A button, which then switches to attack. Now that lowers the defense and makes you take more damage, but it raises the attack power. Unfortunately, As you're leveling up, the first 2 levels, you definitely need to be in attack mode to fight the slime, because otherwise you're just going to be put in a war of attrition where the slimes are going to eventually kill you.
That's some great knights we got there.
Okay, so you spend 20 minutes running around killing the slime. You leveled up 3 times. You'll know you're there when the slime stop giving out XP.
Making killing them a chore.
So you level up, go into this maze, you find Christianity. With that, you walk on over to this cave and you kill a goth who wasn't bothering anyone. You take his lamp, and then you can use it to light up the caves in the game. Go to this cave, dodge the wisps, and collect another sword. The legendary sword, which is said to be only kept by the brave.
That's me.
You do some more grinding, this time going up to level 5. The only valuable XP you can get is from ropers. You know, these bastards that can only be found in the maze, where Christianity was founded just below. You die, realize you haven't saved, and you have to restart, and you throw your NES in a fire. So you buy a new NES, and you try again. You know, if you're not careful, the ropers will kill you almost immediately. In fact, almost every enemy does in this game, no matter what level you are. So you better be expecting to hear over and over and over again. I swear, by the time you hear this, you're going to be hearing the death sound every time somebody dies.
Police, get what you fucking deserve! You should have gone for the head. This is no place to die.
So start grinding up to level 5. While you're at it, don't forget to become a felon in 40 states. You go to this cave, which is another maze. This time it's guarded by gold knights and an empty chest. Instead, in one of those chests, there's a key. With this key, you go to the zombie graveyard and unlock the chest, which gives you the first gem. And with that, you should remember that you need to pick up the fairies from the wasp trees. So you go over this cave, kill these guys minding their own business, and steal their shit. Shield and a ring. The shield ups your defense.
Barely, I might add.
And the ring is the second of the 3 jewels. So you go through this cave and you end up in a desert. Across the desert and you come across these moving trees? Ah, great. Now I gotta deal with Treebeard and ask him if he could spare a fairy. And they won't. They'll just straight up attack you.
And even at level 6 and with the shield defense, these trees will kill you almost instantly. I guess Jim's a ground type. You know, I thought I was saving Fairyland, but nature itself is trying to kill me.
By now you should be level 9. And if you aren't, well, get ready for some grinding.
Overall, the game took me about 2.5 hours. Now, granted, I was using a guide, but the game is very confusing without it. But just think about that. An hour and a half of grinding in a 2.5 hour game.
I mean, and again, sure, maybe spending an hour and a half grinding doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But when combat is just you run into enemies and you hope that you kill them before they kill you, 90 minutes will feel like 90 hours. And all the while, you want to make sure that you save very often, because the slightest mistake could send you back a ton.
You're going to want to have passwords like every 10 minutes, because if something happens, the power goes out, you have to get up and go somewhere. The game doesn't save past it being powered on. Once it powers off, the save's gone.
Now let's talk about the music, because it'll be around this time it starts to dig into your skull. It's the same music over and over again. There's only 2 themes, the overworld and the final boss. And why, yes, it does sound a bit like Indiana Jones. But I guess it is better than the MSX version. But to give that one credit, at least that one sounds like a fantasy epic. on a Nokia. Okay, so you're level 9 and you're ready to fight the last 3 bosses. Get the last jewel and the last fairy.
Also, I know I haven't really talked about magic yet. It hasn't been relevant up until this point.
You go and fight this wizard. He isn't anyone special. I mean, no one is. Morales is the only villain that's actually named in this game. What makes this wizard special is that he can split into 2 guys.
I'm 2 guys now.
Sup?
The only way you can defeat this guy is with one magic spell, the wave spell, which goes through enemies and then hurts the next one over. But you have to kill them both with one spell, or they're just going to respawn.
Good luck doing this part with any shred of sanity left.
I mean, these guys just run around without any pattern, and the wave spell only works from left to right. And with this tiny area they give us, it'll take forever to get them aligned. And with that, the 3rd fairy is achieved, and then, we're off to go fight a dragon. Not really though, since the dragon is invulnerable until you take its sweet, sweet water away. And so you have to wait until it walks past, piss off Smokey the Bear, and inside you find another maze. There's 2 of the hardest enemies that aren't bosses in this game. Knights and skeletons. Also in tight corridors that you have to navigate around or else... With the skeletons, there's a grave, and after some vandalism...
Remember, Jim's the good guy.
The water supply disappears, allowing you to run into the dragon until it dies, giving you a magic potion that heals you completely once and is needed in order to defeat the final boss.
Seriously, this magic potion is essential. When you die, it fills your health all away. Now, before you go fight the final boss, you gotta go through a gauntlet of enemies. And if one of them happens to knock your health all the way down, you use up the potion and you have to revert back to a save.
Alright, with the dragon dead, you go down and receive the final jewel. Now you can finally face Borealis. With the jewels in your hand and the sword of bravery ready to smite evil, you head forth and... Wait, hold up. Dude, you had your minions at the door in front of me?
Not cool, dude.
So yeah, this boss fight is a ball ache and a half if ever there was one. There is no strategy here. It's just run in, stab the guy, and hope you don't take damage from everyone else in the room. And pray that the potion is enough to heal you. You know, at least with Ganon, it was just him confined in the one room, and there was a bit of thought and strategy needed to fight him. Here, it's just mindless run in, die, run in, die, run in, die. And Borealis hits you so hard. I mean, look how quickly the guy takes you out, even in the Fen mode.
$20 minutes. It took me 20 minutes to defeat this guy, and all you do is just run up to him until he dies. I'm pretty sure I got lucky on the last bit, because otherwise I could think this could have gone for hours.
But here it is, the ending. The fairies reunite, and the princess does what anyone who's played through Hydlide would do. Start weeping uncontrollably.
Hydlide is a relic from the 80s, and it should stay a relic. In Japan, it was a huge hit. It sold 1 million on the PC port, and when it came up to the Famicom, it was another 1 million. I think it was mostly because other RPGs like Zelda wasn't released at the time. And when Hydlide finally came to America, we already had Zelda for 2 years, so we already knew what a good RPG was. But, you know, with that out of the way, I could start playing other NES games like